Hello, welcome back. Remember the video about Japan? So I'm here now to do the same thing about South Korea. We are now in South Korea. In fact, we have been in South Korea for just over 2 weeks now. And it's been a very different experience to Japan altogether. And I love the word altogether. Altogether means completely. So it's been a different experience altogether in every aspect, completely. I'm not going to give you too many details about what we experienced in Japan or here, because that's not the point of the video. But the point is to compare some of the most obvious things for me. Remember in the Japan video, I talked about how they are very good at respecting your space. So personal space is respected, and they consider you as an individual when they are doing things. Well, yeah, that's great. In South Korea, they operate in a different way. So this has been what I have noticed, okay? In Japan, generally speaking, people really keep to themselves physically. So this means that they will not be touching you. So, hugs, just tapping you on the shoulder, handshakes. Didn't see a lot of that in Japan. Whereas in Korea, I felt that they are much more likely to touch you. So a few people have tapped the kids on the shoulder when they wanted to show something or, help. And they are much more willing to be physically sort of involved with you. Since Japan is a place, a country where people are known for keeping to themselves, so to keep to yourself has many different interpretations, but the meaning is always regarding this behavior where you are more sort of withdrawn, so it's more inward kind of behavior as opposed to outward, so it's more introverted than extroverted. Since Japan is known for having a population that keeps to themselves, they usually don't make a lot of eye contact with you in Japan. So you're walking and you're looking at people and you're almost like trying to make eye contact with them. And most of the time, they avoid eye contact. So, when you're walking and you can kind of feel that someone's looking at you, you just have a feeling, don't you? Well, they too have this feeling, but they don't do anything about it. When I'm walking and I feel someone's looking at me, naturally, I look back at them. In Japan, we noticed that most of the time they would still not look. Not everybody, when you talk about culture and countries and different things like that, you cannot generalize because there are different people. People behave differently. What I'm saying is, overall, after spending a month and a half in Japan, really paying attention to what's happening around me, that was my impression, that you don't get a lot of eye contact easily in Japan. Whereas here, you get eye contact a lot more easily. So there's this granola shop near my house. I think it's the main thing they sell there is granola. I've never gone in, but this is the idea I have. And they make it in store and it's really fresh and meant to be very nice. And every time I walk past, there's this huge window, glass window. And the lady inside who is making granola or working or doing anything else, cleaning or whatever, she always looks at me and, we make eye contact and she smiles every time. So now we're waving, now we've really kind of gone over the smile period. We're waving at each other now. So she always does that. And this happens to a lot of people around here. They will look at you. If you look at them, they will look back at you. They will acknowledge you, by looking at you. I've noticed that. Remember I told you guys that in Japan, we were, let's say, at the supermarket and we were looking at something and someone came and they wanted to look at the same thing. They just cut in. I noticed that in Japan, right? People just cut in and they just do what they have to do. Here, it's that on acid. So this is an expression. It means it's that behavior, but a lot more. So not only, listen to this structure. This is very advanced. Not only do they cut in, but if you're walking in the street and this is where they want to go and you're walking here, they are not going to make way for you. They're going to keep walking straight at you. And if that means bumping into you physically, they will. So ever since we arrived in Seoul, I think I've had maybe 5 people bump into me, really. And sometimes it's quite hard, you know, like they really just go for it. The other day I was standing, that really caught my attention. It caught my attention because I was standing, waiting to cross, so waiting for the lights to turn green for me to cross. And I had my arms back like this. I was kind of stretching my back, you know, so I was standing like this. And this woman came and literally just whacked my shoulder and my elbow just went flying back. Mimi saw that, my daughter. She's like, did you see that? Yeah, I did. I felt that. So this happens quite a bit here. And I had seen people talk about that before, but it's different when you experience it. This really happens here. Lots more young people out and about here in Seoul. Out and about means, you know, out in the streets and in shops and cafes and doing things. Much more than in Japan. I'm not saying that necessarily there are more elderly people in Japan than here, but I feel like in Japan they get out of the house more than here. That's just the impression I have. So I see elderly people around, of course I do, but mostly we see lots of young people, lots of young couples. So we see friends hanging out as well, hanging out, spending time together. We see that too, but lots of couples, young couples, especially on weekends. Then, you know, the city is super busy and vibrant and people are just doing things and going places. Something I have noticed as well is the amount of cafes here is insane. There are so many coffee shops. When I say so many coffee shops, I mean, I swear to you, on like one street, you would find on my street, and I live in a residential sort of street with buildings. On my street, if you walk down the street, there are 3 coffee shops. And this is just buildings on this particular street. But everywhere else you go, so if I go down my street and take the street that is kind of parallel to it, there are just countless coffee shops. So many, all kinds of styles of design and an actual coffee and, you know, the product they are consuming. Bottom line, Japan and South Korea are very, very different to each other. I guess it's the same as comparing Brazil to Argentina. Yeah, both in South America, very close to each other, completely different places. It's the same as Japan and South Korea. We're gonna be here for 1 month in total, and then we go to our next destination. It's been a fantastic experience because obviously Seoul, which is where we are, is, like I said, super vibrant and there's lots going on. There's always something to do. There's always something to see. The weather has been fantastic. It's basically been sunny every day. We've had a little bit of rain twice, but it was light rain and it was not even the whole day. And the temperature has been mild, which is great for walks too. mild. It's not been super hot and it's not been cold, it's been mild. We've had some very hot days, but overall it's been mild and sunny and beautiful. Anyway, this is what I have to say in terms of a very overall quick and simple comparison between Japan and South Korea. I could say so much more about these two, but I'm not gonna take too much of your time. See you next week.